Hi, boys and girls. Here we are in the Smith kitchen, and we are ready to bake together. So I'm going to show you the ingredients, show you the ingredient list, just in case you want to bake along with me. And then I'm going to pause it. Hopefully that works. And then I'm going to grab everything that I need and the amounts that I need so then we can mix together and roll out the first cookies and stick them in the oven. So here's what we need. We need 1 egg, just one. I always put it on a towel so that it doesn't roll around the counter. Okay, we need 1.5 cups of flour. Here's my flour. And here is my cup. Now, there are liquid measuring cups and there are dry measuring cups. This is my dry measuring cup, and it is 1 full cup. Okay, we also need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, so here's my baking soda. All right, here it is. And here's all my spoons. Okay, you can see the smallest to the largest. This would be a tablespoon. And then we have a teaspoon and 1/2 teaspoon and 1/4 teaspoon and 1/8 teaspoon, which is really like a big giant pinch. Okay. All right. So then we need 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So here is, I didn't get out the brown sugar. Oh no. Don't worry though. I will. And then we need 1/4 cup, which is a lot smaller than my cup to begin with. See how much smaller that is? Let's compare it. So here's my cup. Here's my 1/4 cup. 1/4 would be 1 equal part of 4. So 4 of these fit inside of here. Okay, so little equivalent fractions today. All right, so then I need chocolate chips. It says I need 3/4 cup, but I always add a little extra because the kids like them nice and super sweet. So here are my chocolate chips, and don't worry, I have some backup just in case. We need a teaspoon of salt. We need some vanilla, sugar, and 8 tablespoons of butter. Now with butter, you don't have to measure it with those spoons that I showed you, because on the back, right here, it actually shows you where a tablespoon is. So 8 tablespoons is exactly what we need, so we'll be using just this. I have my sugar out, and Alicia, I have my cup so I can have a few drinks of water while I'm working. So I'm going to go gather up my stuff. Hopefully you'll be doing the same. Here's the recipe one more time. Eggs, flour, baking soda, brown sugar, chocolate chips, salt, vanilla, sugar, and butter. See you in a moment. Okay, boys and girls, we are ready. So I have my first ingredients. I have melted my butter. Can you see that? I don't want to pour it on you. So I melted my butter because that's the way we start. So I'm going to pour that in my mixer. Can you see it? Okay. Starting with that. And then I'm going to add my 1 egg in. You always want to make sure when you crack your egg, you're super careful so that you don't get anything inside. You don't want any shells because that would be crunchy grossness. And then always wipe your hands after an egg. So we have sanitizing wipes everywhere right now. So I'll just use one of those to get that right out of the way. And then I'm going to put in my brown sugar. Now, the difference between using white sugar and brown sugar is that brown sugar usually has to be packed so it's pretty solid in there. You get all that air out of there. So we'll put it inside. It comes out in a big giant ball. And then I need 1/2 cup of white sugar. I'm going to use 2/4 because 2/4 and 1/2 are the same. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to pause you again after this because my KitchenAid is a little noisy. It's having a fussy moment. So I'm going to pause you while that mixes up and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, boys and girls, so we have our eggs, both of our sugars, and our butter, and it's all mixed up right in here. You don't want to do it too long because then it kind of like scrambles the eggs and makes the cookies hard in the end. So now what I want to do is I want to look at my spoons here, and I've got 1/2 teaspoon, and I need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. The cool thing about that is that when you get it in there, you can just swipe it across the top, and it makes a nice flat surface. Okay. We also need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, they don't really make a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to use my half, and I'm just going to fill it halfway. And maybe they do make it, I just probably don't have. All right, there we go. And we need our vanilla. I love vanilla. So we're going to use a teaspoon of that. Be very, very careful that you don't use a tablespoon, that you just use a teaspoon. Pour it right in there, and then in it goes. All right, I'm going to do a mix again, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I don't know if you can see in there, but everything's mixed up really, really well. So now all I need to do left is to add my flour, and that's going to make me like have that cookie dough consistency. And then we're going to stir in the chocolate chips and get ready to bake. So my oven's preheated and it's working up to get to 350 degrees. I'll be right back. Hey boys and girls, I'm back, and here's our cookie dough batter. Now remember, don't eat it raw because it has egg in there. Now, all I need to do yet is to put in my chocolate chips. Remember what I said, 3/4 cup. We looked at that 1/4 and a 1/4 and a 1/4 and a 1/4 to make a whole. We would just need 3/4, but I use a whole cup because they're super delicious. So I'm going to pour them in the bowl. Here they are. And I'm going to give them a stir. And while I'll do that, I'll tell you that I don't actually eat these because remember I'm a vegan, so I don't eat egg and I don't eat butter. So when we taste test these a little bit later today, you're going to have to see Mr. Smith or Caleb, or Mateo, or Serena, or Sophia. Let us know how we did together today. Okay, so we're all mixed up. See how we look? Look delicious, right? And now all we're going to do is we're going to spoon them into little mounds on our cookie tray. And then we're going to be able to stick them in the oven. It takes about 9 to 11 minutes, and you don't want to overcook them even if they look super, super soft. Give them a minute when they come out because then they're going to stay nice and soft. Otherwise, they're going to get hard, and those aren't very good. All right, I'll be right back. All right, boys and girls, here we go. I have my little mounds of chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm going to put them in the oven, and in about 11 minutes, I'll be back. And you'll see the finished product. I hope yours look just as tasty. Uh-oh, they're rolling around. Just as tasty. And I'll get a sampler out here. Okay, boys and girls, so time was up. They came out. They're nice and golden brown. Mr. Smith ate half, and he said it was quite delicious. So great job baking today. Next Friday, we're going to make banana bread in a one bowl. It's super easy, super delicious, and super fun. And I can actually eat it too. So until later, have a great weekend. I miss you all very much. Bye-bye.